What's good, YouTube? You know who it is. Chef D, back for Chef State of Mind. I'm a little behind on the video because I've been a little bit under the weather for the past week, but I'm back and I'm better. And today we're gonna be making pork belly with a gochujang glaze, a little bit of sauteed onions and peppers, and it's just gonna go over the top of some rice. So, just stick tight, make sure you subscribe, like, comment, share, do all that. Watch all my videos while you at it. And I'll be right back. Okay, so we got our rice cooking back there. I got my cast iron pot, pan heating up back there. I already got everything all julienned up. So I have 1.5 onions all cut up. I have about 5 cloves of garlic also sliced. And then I have just some red and yellow peppers julienned a little bit, probably like 1/4 of an inch, okay? That's just the accompaniments though. Now to the main course. We have pork belly, okay? So what are you looking for when you get pork? You want it to have a nice rosy, not necessarily rosy, but a nice pink color. You don't want any kind of brown on there. You want the fat to be nice and white. You don't want it to be yellow. It shouldn't be slimy. Should be relatively dry. It should smell nice. It shouldn't smell rancid in any kind of form or fashion. And that's pretty much it. So if you've never seen pork belly before, it's pretty much bacon. It's the whole stomach of the pork, and they just cut that off, slice it. They usually slice it into bacon, cure it, and that's how bacon is made. But before they slice it super, super thin, I snatched this up, and we're gonna sear it off real nice and hard. Then we're gonna glaze it with our gochujang glaze, and that's pretty much it. It's super, super simple, but also super delicious, okay? Let my pan heat up, and then, we'll be right back. You already know the rest. Okay, so now our pan is super, super hot. You can see, let me turn this light on for you. You can see that the pan is smoking. There's nothing in there yet. I have a little bit of olive oil here, okay? So, just gonna put a little bit of that on the bottom of my pan. That pan is hot, so don't touch it with your hand like I just did. So, we're gonna make sure it's nicely covered. This is a cast iron pan, okay? We do not need a lot of oil. It's gonna retain a whole bunch of heat, and it's gonna get us a nice deep color on there. My heat is on medium, by the way. So, as we put these in the pan, we're gonna press them down nice and firm to get a nice crust on them, okay? Look at that, that's the sound that you wanna hear, okay? If you put it in the pan and it does not, I repeat, if it does not make this sound, take it out, okay? It's better to wait. So we're gonna try and fit all of these in here. This is a cast iron, like I said, so crowding the pan isn't as big of a problem as if you were doing it in a stainless steel pan or something of that sort. Like I said, it's gonna retain a lot of heat. Okay, so now I'm gonna turn that up a little bit to medium high. I'm gonna put a little bit more olive oil on there, okay? I re-seasoned 1/2 with salt and pepper. I'm gonna season the other half liberally with salt and pepper again, okay? Notice, this is the hand I use for the pork. I'm not using the same hand for the salt, okay? Now, I'm gonna grind a little bit of fresh pepper on there. Then we're gonna let this sear and caramelize. We're gonna have a Maillard reaction, and then we'll be right back. Okay, so it's been about a minute, minute and a half, 2 minutes, and our pork is just about ready to turn. So let me check this. Come on now, look at that. That is exactly what you want, okay? So we're just gonna flip these. Yes. So we're gonna turn all of, oh my God, this looks so delicious. All right, we're gonna turn all of these. Now some of them are gonna be a little bit darker than the others, like this. Here, let me pull this one out. See that? That is 100% fine, okay? So like I mentioned earlier, we're causing a Maillard reaction. Now, you may be asking yourself, what is that? So, as we start to brown this meat in a super hot pan, it's starting to caramelize the sugars in the meat. And that's going to brown it and develop that nice meaty flavor that we all like. If we just boil this, it would, of course, it would taste like pig, it would taste like pork, or if we were doing beef, it would taste like beef, but it won't have that delicious umami flavor that we associate with cuts like pork, lamb, beef, even chicken has an umami flavor to it, okay? Gonna brown all 6 sides, okay? And that's gonna help to develop a lot of flavor. It's gonna help lock in some of that juice and some of that porky fat, and so that it won't render all the way. Because we're gonna cook this for about an hour and a half, all right? So once we brown all 4 sides, I'm gonna show you guys how we're gonna saute the vegetables, build our sauce, and I'm gonna send you guys on your way, okay? So we'll be right back in about 5-6 minutes, depending on how long it takes me to brown all of this, okay? I'm back, and all my pork is nice and brown on all 6 sides. So we're gonna pull this right out of the pot or out of the pan. I'm gonna transfer that over to a nice, clean, emphasis on clean, because remember, cleanliness makes for godliness, okay? We'll put this on a nice, clean cutting board. We're gonna let this rest while we build our sauce. So I don't know if you can see that, but we got a lot of fat in there, okay? I'm gonna dump that all off, all right? Now, you do not have to necessarily throw this away. You can use this for whatever you want. Then just rinse. But it's a nice flavoring. Whatever you want to use. You can put it in a cake if you wanted to. Make like a bacon fat ice cream. I've done that before. So we poured most of that off, kept a little bit of it. Now we're gonna throw in our onion in half, along with 5 cloves of garlic, our julienne bell peppers, or sweet peppers, whatever you want to call them. We're going to turn our heat up quite a bit, almost all the way up to high. We're just going to give this a saute, a quick saute, okay? Just give it a little toss. I'm going to add a little bit of salt and pepper. You can go super light on the salt because pork is already pretty salty, and then we seasoned the protein already. So we're gonna just season at every single step so that all the flavors come out in their own form or fashion at their own time or their own pace. Okay? So my pan dried out just a little bit. That's exactly what we want. We don't want too much fat because, of course, we seared this off and it rendered out a little bit of the fat, but then we're going to braise it in the same pot, and it's going to render out some more of that fat, so we don't want it to be too fatty. All right, so we're just going to saute this until our onions and our peppers soften and the garlic becomes aromatic. It's going to take about 2 minutes. And okay, so it's been about 1.5 minutes, and our vegetables are starting to turn nice and caramelized, as you can see. We're going to turn down the heat just a touch. Then we're going to add a little bit of rice vinegar, all right? So what is rice vinegar going to do? First, it's going to deglaze the bottom of our pan, right? It's going to get all that fond off from the pork belly and from some of the vegetables, okay? That's how you develop flavor. It's also going to add a little bit of acidity to the party because pork belly is super fatty. And you want to break some of that up. You don't want to just coat your mouth in fat. It's going to help wash it away. All right? So, now that we've gotten the fond off the bottom of our pan, we're going to add a little bit of soy sauce. This is going to help season it further and give us a nice salty flavor, all right? But not overly salty. Next, we have mirin. If you cannot find mirin, you can substitute something like brown sugar or molasses, all right? And I don't have measurements for any of this. I just cook from the salt. I just throw in a little bit of here, a little bit here, a little bit there. Once you figure out what you like and how you like it, it's a lot easier to season your food. I don't like to give precise measurements. I put more rice vinegar A little bit less soy sauce and a lot less mirin, okay? So we're gonna let that marry, let them get nice and acquainted with each other. You always want to make sure it comes back up to a boil when you add anything, all right? So now we have some nice raw unfiltered honey. I love raw unfiltered honey. It has a lot less sweetness, has a lot more complexity to all the flavors that's inside of it, okay? So this stuff moves like molasses. So while we're waiting on this, I need you guys to put down in the comments what do you want me to make, all right? I'm here for you guys. I'm here to teach you guys, to help you with any kind of culinary problem that you have, all right? I just need you guys to, let me turn that off. I just need you guys to like, comment, share, and subscribe. That's all I need, all right? So now, this is finally where it's supposed to be. I'm gonna add a nice amount of honey, all right? So, we're gonna mix that up. And then I'm gonna grab a spoon, give it a little bit of a taste. Make sure it's not too salty. Make sure if it needs a little bit of mirin, we could add that now. If it needs a little bit more acidity, we could add more rice vinegar, or anything of that form or fashion, all right? So it tastes beautiful. I think I'm gonna add a little bit more mirin though, just to add a little bit more sweetness without having to add too much honey, all right? Because we want this all to be all about the gochujang, which we're gonna add later, not about honey. So, if you've never had gochujang, this is what it is. It comes in this big old tub. You get it from any kind of Asian mart. That's pretty much the only place. You could probably buy it off Amazon, but I don't know if I would do that. So we're gonna add about a tablespoon and a half, depending on how much heat you like. This is super, super, super spicy, all right? If you cannot find gochujang, you can substitute either sambal, which is a lot easier to find. You can find that at any Walmart. Or if worse comes to worse, you use a little bit of sriracha, all right? You don't want to use nearly as much because then it's going to be way hotter than you could even imagine, all right? So we're going to mix this in. This is super, super thick. It's kind of like tomato paste on the viscosity level, all right? So we're going to mix all this in. And then I have some orange juice. You may be asking yourself, Demetrius, why are you using orange juice? That seems like an odd component, the odd man out. Everything here is Asian, then just gonna throw in some orange juice, all right? But hear me out. We're gonna add a little bit of sweetness with this because, like I said, gochujang is super, super spicy, and it also has a lot of salt in it, all right? It's also gonna help us use it as a vehicle to start to braise our pork belly. If you don't know what braising is, it's pretty much just simmering. It's pretty much like roasting, but on the stove top, and it's only covered halfway, okay? So, we're gonna add some orange juice. Let's add this whole thing, all right? And I like to use the best quality orange juice I could find. You don't want to use orange juice that's from concentrate. I like to keep all the pulp in mind. I don't use that orange juice with that has added calcium in it. I feel like it makes it taste a little bit powdery, and sometimes it's a little bit too acidic, okay? Now, we're gonna give it another taste before we put our pork belly in, all right? And at this point, if you wanted to, you could add some more of that bacon fat, but I highly suggest that you don't because we're gonna start to render off that pork belly while it's braising, all right? So we're gonna give this a taste. And we're really tasting here to make sure it has enough salt. Even if you think it could use another dash, I would refrain until it reduces and all the pork belly renders out as much as you want it to, all right? Because then it could turn too salty and then it's just ruined, all right? So, we're gonna take our pork belly. We're just gonna place it all back in the pan. If you don't have a cast iron pan, if you have like a Dutch oven or any thick bottom pot or pan, that is the best thing to use for this recipe, all right? And as you can see now, it's starting to boil. You do not want this to boil. You want it to be at a nice, gentle simmer. And that's gonna take maybe around an hour to be completely finished. And you'll see that's gonna be kind of like a duck sauce consistency. That's what we're really looking for. And once this is all rendered, reduced down, we'll be right back, all right? Okay, so it's been about an hour and a half, and our pork is done. It's all nice and reduced. It's super thick. Let me just grab a spoon. You can see how thick that is, okay? So I got my rice here. If you guys don't know how to make it, I made a video on it. I'll put it up here somewhere. And so we're gonna plate this up super quick. Gonna have that pork belly. You can see it's nice and tender, crispy. Has a good amount of that glaze on it already. Now we're gonna get some of this delicious sauce. And at this point, you could top this with chives, cilantro, sesame seeds, whatever you want. But that's how it's done. Crispy gochujang pork over rice. Remember, like, comment, share, subscribe, and that's it. That's all I got for you guys. Thank you again. I'm Chef D for Chef's State of Mind. Come back next week. We're doing weekly videos. Thank you again. Chef's State of Mind.